What's up, guys? So today we're going to be continuing on the RX-7 1J swap. We got a lot to do, so we got to make some moves. So today is a really big day because today we are actually going to be test fitting the 1JZ in the engine bay of the RX-7. Now to do so, we have to finish putting the oil pan on, which you guys know I keep talking about the damn thing. I needed a gasket for the pickup tube right here, this thing. It's very, very important. It's inside your oil pan, and I mean, this is a very, very vital piece of your engine. A lot of guys were saying, a lot of you were saying to do a that I should have just did a cut to fit gasket, which you could buy like a sheet of gasket and cut the right shape. This is actually a metal gasket, so I wasn't gonna do it. If it was a paper gasket, I'd understand, but not a metal gasket. So found out yesterday, one of my really good friends has a full OEM gasket kit for the 2J, 1J, which is like the same thing. So we're gonna head up there in a little bit and get the gasket from him, and we should be able to throw the pan on today and get it ready to throw in the bay. In terms of getting the RX-7 ready, we have a issue. So unlike a traditional subframe, the RX-7 is kind of weird. It's like a full box. Usually, the front subframe on a car, it's usually just like one piece with the steering that kind of bolts on the front or the rear. What we're gonna have to do is we're actually gonna have to cut this way the heck up. Once we figure out where the engine's gonna go, we're gonna start making our own custom subframe. Me and B-Hall are both excited to do some fab work on this, and we think that we can make a very strong and aesthetically pleasing subframe for the FD. And I think it's gonna be a great learning experience for me and you guys, because it's gonna be the first time I'm doing it, and I think it'll be fun. So let's start our day by heading up to Logan Steel. Alright guys, so we're in Logan Steel's bargain barn, and essentially what it is, it's just a huge area of cuts of steel, aluminum, stainless, even brass. It's kind of like I'd call it like a clearance yard of metals, and what you do is you pay by the pound, and you kind of look around and see what you need. It's cool. They got a lot of random cuts, they got a lot of like standard cuts, but whatever you need, they got it. But I'm just kind of walking around now seeing if I could find some random cuts of the tubing we need, and maybe see if they have some like random plates for the brackets and whatnot. So there's a lot of stuff to look through. It's kind of cool. You guys see me come here all the time, and you know, I always have a fun time looking around, just seeing like the random cuts they have. This seems like a really good thickness for me to plate the subframe, so we're gonna be cutting the ends off and plating them, and then welding the tube to the plate. So I'm gonna take a few of these and a few of the little ones, and we should be straight on that. Guys, so we found the DOM piping. Mike, do you want to give a quick little lecture on what DOM is versus like regular piping?
It's DOM stands for drawn over mandrel, and although you don't feel a seam on the inside or see one on the outside, it's not a true seamless. It's actually meant to go under kind of pressure,
yeah.
You know, to be pressurized. So anyways, DOM certainly, you come right down to Logan, we set you up. All the drifters, if you need
so this is what they use for roll cage tubing. Well, the different thickness.
The 095 and the 120 is what they use.
In B-Hall, we're gonna try and mock up with the
1 1/4, 120.
And then this is gonna be like our rear bracing, hopefully, and then for our front main brace, we're gonna try something a little bit thicker. We're just leaving Logan Steel, and of course we got everything I need. I got the 2 sizes of DOM tubing, and then I got a few steel plates along with a bunch of trash on the ground, but that we can make our we could box in our mounts, and we could box the frame to then make a pedestal and a plate for the DOM tubing. So it'll make more sense as we do it, but yeah, huge shout out again to Logan Steel. They always hook it up. Like they say, like having someone like them local is probably the best thing ever. They always have whatever material I need. They have the powder coating, they have the steel. It's great. So they make a lot of projects happen. So huge out to them again. Of course, you guys are in the area, in the Meriden or Torrington area, check them out. Bargain Barn, steel, powder coating. There it is. So now we have to head up to my buddy's shop in Bristol to pick up the gaskets for the 1JZ. Alright, so my homie Nils came to the rescue. He has a bunch of JZ gaskets laying around because he keeps swapping them to things, but this is the one I need. But Nils has a pretty cool car. It's not even a car, it's a truck. So this is an old Mazda pickup. He runs A-Class at all the Northeast events and slays it. It has full S13 conversion front and rear subframes, full S13 wise fab, and he has a 2J underneath the hood. It looks so good in there, dude.
Yeah, it fits alright.
And you just have it stock set up right now?
For now.
For now.
Not for long.
Damn, this is one cool piece of machinery.
Wise fab, yeah.
This is always like definitely a head turner at like any event.
Yeah, I see a lot of videos. People are like, yo, there's that truck.
That truck. Well, what's cool about this truck, so Nils let me drive this like a long time ago when he like first got on the road, and doing like some like donuts and stuff, it feels just like an S13. Like when you drive it, it feels like you're driving an S13. It's crazy how the geometry really kind of balanced out like that.
Yeah, the wheelbase is like a foot longer than a 240. So it's like, it's kind of like perfect. It's a lot of fun.
There's the plug. So shout out to Nils for hooking up, because now we can get our pickup tube on the engine, get the oil pan on the engine, and then cut the subframe, and we got a lot of work to do tonight. So a little bit of a drive to the shop, but let's hit the road. B-Hall.
What's up, guys?
You excited as I am?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What are we doing?
We're gonna cut up the subframe so we could fit this in it.
All right.
I'm so excited to see it like resting in there.
Me too.
I'm just gonna do this. Ready, guys? All right, it's on. And B-Hall jump to the RTV. You know, you're really good at this. Fat dimes. Hey, it's officially together. You ready to cut some metal up?
Yeah.
What do you want to use? So
we got a couple things. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna just cut it right now. You ready?
Well, what do you want to do? Just rough cut the center out?
Yeah,
Or
so-
you wanna...
All right, so we're gonna rough cut the center out just so we can kind of see what the JZ looks inside the bay. That's it, and we'll pull back out. So I brought something to one up your snap-on.
Well, take that blade out.
Chicago Electric. It's a big bitch. You trying to cut a tree down?
No, man, that's for hacking body panels off of the back of cars and shit.
Hacking bodies in half.
It's not plugging in. There goes everyone's rotary dreams.
Yep, there it is.
Down the drain.
Rotary dreams down the drain. See, now it looks like a normal subframe. Let's test fit the JZ.
Yeah, we got plenty of room. Oil pan definitely clears the subframe.
Ready?
Part of the subframe, just for how? Yeah, go ahead.
Are we on the steering rack yet? Or just about to
We're just about to be.
be? It's literally resting on the steering rack in the firewall.
It is on the firewall right now.
The hard, it's really hard to clear your hood with these engines. 2Js are actually a little bit longer, so it's not as bad as a 2J, but we want to make sure the oil pan doesn't hang any bit below we don't want the oil pan to be the lowest part of the car, so we have to make sure it's tucked up at least on the frame rails, and then you want it as far back as possible for weight distribution, and then besides that, just symmetrical. So we're gonna move the steering rack now so we have more room to lower the engine, because as you can see, it's so much higher than anything else. And what's really nice is the steering shaft. There's a lot of room in it, so we have a lot of room for movement, because it has two U-joints in it. So it's on. We got the rack out.
Everything on.
Everything out. That's our specialty. Sweet. So rack is out. So now we have way more room. So let's see if the engine will sit any lower, and see if it'll fit a little bit nicer. Oh yeah, look at it.
Yeah.
Now the front of the oil pan is sitting on the rack, but we can push the engine back. But we can't.
Sort of.
I can
Yeah,
take
so we're now
we can take.
going this way.
All right. So now we gotta take the rebar off.
Yeah.
4-bolt.
Right there, it's kind of floating.
I like the height though. to really good, like a really comfy height.
We're definitely clearing the hood now, so
Oh wow, yeah,
for sure.
no issues on that. Even with the Velcro around, I think we'll be fine. How's the oil pan height?
I mean, it's lower than the subframe now. I think the motor should actually come up from here.
It's still, yeah.
I know.
I also don't mind like trimming that. We might have to trim the firewall a decent amount because of the lip, because it has to sit higher, but we want it this far back. It's annoying because the whole firewall is actually recessed a lot underneath this pinch weld. I mean, it looks good in there. This is a big moment. This is
Yeah,
cool.
it looks pretty. Feels good.
But plenty of room for any type of activities. All right, guys, so we moved it up and forward just a little bit, and it seems like this is going to be probably our location. Plenty of room to clear the hood, which is awesome. It might come close right here when the timing cover's on, but me and B-Hall were just looking where we should cut the subframe now, and on the front it's nice and easy because it's very obvious at where it's reinforced at, and so we're going to cut it at like basically the reinforced part and weld off of that, so we know we have like a structurally strong piece. And in the rear, you could tell where it bends and buckles to allow the shape for the rear half, so we're going to basically give us just enough room to have room for our camber bolt in the rear, because having the camber bolt, or what's the technical name for that?
It's an eccentric washer and eccentric bolt.
So by turning it, it changes the throw, so you could adjust camber, caster, whatever it's on. So we're gonna cut that flat. I'm just gonna basically weld a fucking plate to it, and then we're gonna start adjusting our DOM pipe as our new subframe. So got a lot of work to do. So the subframe is officially cut the hell out. It's insane. Now this side came out pretty good. As you can see, it's pretty square. This side, on the other hand, my blade got kind of messed up, so whatever. So now what we have to do is we have to take every nub of the subframe, each one, and make sure they're all symmetrical, like at least the rear symmetrical with the rear, front symmetrical with the front, and they're nice and square. After a lot of flappering later, we got them pretty boxed up. They're pretty square and they're symmetrical, and that matters more than anything. Realistically, they could be slanted, they could be tilted, but as long as it's symmetrical, it'll look fine, and I know it's gonna be strong. Now, the next part would be making the base plate for it. So we actually have to weld a plate completely to each face of right here. Easiest way to do it is make a cardboard template, because it's a lot easier to keep trimming cardboard than it is to keep trimming metal. So let's find some cardboard. This'll do. All right, so I was gonna trace it, but I realized push it against the mount and it imprints it. So there you go, that's our first box. So let's cut this out and trace it into the metal. That was so miserable with the angle grinder. Yeah, that sucked. Let's clean it up and test fit it. So much flapping later, we come up with this piece. Now, I was making it for that side, but I test fitted it on this side and it fits slightly better. But what's good is that this one piece fits like almost perfectly on both, which is pretty cool, which means that they should be pretty even. This is ready to be welded on to the face, just like this, to give it a pedestal for our cross brace that the steering rack is actually going to bolt to. I got this one all traced out with the actual mold, and that should be all set. And now we have to make one for the rear. So of course, once again, cardboard template, metal trace, and so now we have the two rears and then the other front. We got to cut these out. I was really hoping to get a lot more done today, but we had a really late start, but it's whatever. We made good progress. If you guys don't really know exactly how I'm expecting to do this, now get it, we have our little rear stubs Then we have our front stubs. So my goal is to basically just do it just like the Sandberg front subframe and kind of just go like this, and then put our engine mounts right here. And then the only thing I'm gonna add is I want to add a small rear brace right here, and then maybe add some like small little gussets to make it look nice, and that's about it. That's the gist of it. So if you guys haven't really figured out yet, that's what we're doing. So yeah, I'm really excited. It's gonna be really cool. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, and it's definitely an awesome learning experience. It's gonna be really cool to say, yo, I made that swap subframe. That's sick. That's really all I have for today's video, guys. Tomorrow is gonna be a great day because I'm trying to get that subframe done. Maybe not have the engine pedestals welded in, but I want the subframe in one piece, and maybe we could try and get the pedestals in. But it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. So tomorrow, hopefully, if Justin's around, maybe he'll let me use his plasma cutter. If not, I'll see someone else, because that will literally take me an hour and like 20 cutting discs. So I hope you guys are stoked for the 1J, seeing it in the engine bay, because I'm so excited. It looks so good in there. So that's it. So you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with some fire content. Good night.